Hello and welcome to this edition of New It Too with Be So In.
Welcome.
Kaylin, and with me this week is Ashley.
Hi.
Because Jan is off on a sewing cruise.
I know, I'm so jealous.
With Missy Billingsley, so wish her bon voyage and a little bit of jealousy if you like. And we are starting a new month.
Yes.
If you can believe it, we're already through the first quarter of 2025.
That's wild.
We're entering April, which makes today April Fool's Day. But I promise no jokes from my end today. Because April isn't just the beginning of silliness, apparently. It is also the beginning of National Serger Month. And of course, Baby Lock is Sergers. We have so many other machines as well. But Baby Lock really got their start with Sergers. In case you don't know, actually, the name Baby Lock comes from the idea of being a home scale, so baby, overlock machine. So Baby Lock, small overlock machine. And it was with Sergers that we really started our kind of story. And so today what we wanted to talk to you guys about was a little bit about sergers, why they're so useful, and why Baby Lock sergers in particular are so fantastic. And so today we're starting at the Baby Lock Victory Serger. If you come around here and look at the front, you're going to notice this looks a little different from what you're used to seeing on a serger for a couple of reasons. The main one at a glance is that you don't have tension dials across the front. That is because one of the things Baby Lock has patented is automatic preset tensions. We have A, B, C, and D. And the way that these work is you set them and it changes the tension for all 4 threads at once. A serger has needle 1, needle 2, upper looper, and lower looper to create a surged edge. So we've got my surged edge here where you see my loopers going across, and in this particular one we have 1 line of thread, 2 on this side. So we have a looper on the front and the back, 2 needle lines for my actual kind of securing stitch.
Perfect.
And so that stitch then I can find with my quick reference threading guide right here. It's the very first stitch.
Beautiful.
And I'm going to notice that instead of having to set 4 different tensions and then fiddle with them until I get it right, it says the stitch selector, which is my pre-tensioner or my automatic tensioner, is going to be on A, which is A right here. You see that dot right there is what it points to. And we just move this back and forth to set it. And wham bam, it's all just done at once for us for that stitch. You'll notice other stitches are going to call for the different letters of my tension presets. So that is one of the first things you're going to notice just looking at the machine. Everything Victory and above from Baby Lock loses the tensions and just has these beautiful presets that work like magic. I don't even question how they did it. I'm just glad that they did.
Yes.
Because that was one of the pain points of sergers for a long time. The other one, though, was threading the loopers. Once upon a time, and still on some machines, loopers are going to be very complicated to thread. You're going to have a lot of hooks and levers and tubes along here that you have to thread in the right order. You have to make sure you thread the correct piece in the correct order, and if a thread breaks, you have to start over.
Unthread everything, start from scratch.
Right, but Baby Lock developed air threading with even as far down the line as things like the Celebrate next to me and the Victory that I'm sitting at now. And the way that's going to work is instead of being a bunch of tubes or a bunch of hooks, it's going to be one continuous tube and a jet of air. So we see here on the front of the machine, it literally says jet air threading. Okay, so what I've done is I've unthreaded my lower looper. The lower looper, for those of you that are familiar with sergers, is kind of the bane of the existence of the serger, but really not anymore. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to engage my loopers by pressing this button here and rotating my hand wheel until the tubes close down right here. And then I'm going to take my thread, and of course I've already got my upper looper threaded, so I'm just going to go and take my lower looper, in part because it's the one that needs threaded, but also because it doesn't matter what order I thread my machine in on this one.
That's nice.
And I'm going to pull enough thread. I like to make a backwards L across the machine. Some people pull it to their leg. It's roughly the same amount of thread.
Got it.
But I want to make sure it's enough for the air to shoot the thread through it.
That makes sense.
Right here on my jet air, I don't know if you can see the decal here, but it's U for upper looper, L for lower looper, and I have my little knob here that I move left or right.
Perfect.
Since I'm doing the lower looper, I want it here on the L. And then what I have here are my threading ports. You'll notice a very important message here: do not oil. They do look like oiling points that you would see on older or mechanical machines, but in fact, yes, if you fill a tube meant for air with oil, it's not going to work very well, and it's yeah. So do not oil. I'm going to poke my thread into that little hole there. If you have trouble with that, if you have really dry skin, you can use tweezers, things like that, to poke it into that hole. I only pushed it in about a ½ inch. And then I'm going to take this lever here, and I'm just going to press it. And you see here, my lower looper thread
is hiding from you.
Well,
it came out, but it's there.
There we
go.
There's my lower looper thread. Perfect. So just by pushing that tube, it ran the air through. I don't know if you could hear it. It's very quiet.
It's like a little bellows system.
And it is. And my lower looper is threaded.
Perfect.
So these machines are going to be so easy to thread, so easy to use, because of those two major things being taken care of for you. But what I would like to show you is, if you keep going up the line of Baby Lock Serger, some of the other things that they have added to make our lives even better with Sergers.
Perfect.
Okay, so now I've actually come over here to the Baby Lock Triumph. Now, the Triumph is the top of the line combination serger and cover stitch machine. So as you can imagine, it has a few more bells and whistles. But what I want you to notice, though, is it also looks very similar to the Victory in some ways. We don't have our tensions across the front, though we do add beautiful speed control. We add our patented wave stitch, things like that, but we don't have to mess with our tensions. They're never going to take something away as you go up the line. They're only going to add. And what we have for this one, I'll open my door here, is my stitch selector is on the side here instead of on the front.
Okay.
But you're just going to move it down and up the same way that you moved left and right.
Perfect.
With the one for the Victory. And so what we have on this one here as well is we're set up for a 4-thread overlock, but I have unthreaded the lower looper.
Okay.
So we're going to open our doors. And for this one, instead of it being a button that we press to engage the loopers, can you see those over here? I'm going to take from serging to threading with this lever right here. And then I'm going to do the same thing that I did on the Victory, where I rotate the hand wheel until those tubes lock down.
Perfect.
Once they align, they automatically lock down.
Easy peasy.
So I'm going to take my lower looper thread and I'm going to push it in the same way. But from here, it actually gets a little bit different. So the Victory had what we call jet air threading.
Okay.
The threading that is on this one is actually called revolution air threading. And that is because it's going to have, instead of more of like a bellows pump, like what you had kind of described for the Victory, this one is going to have an automated electronic air pump that is going to run not just the upper or the lower at one time, but both of them at the same time. And in fact, also the chain looper for the cover stitches at the same time as well. Now, some machines are going to have that and be called extraordinaire threading.
Okay.
And that's because they have this unit, but not the last thing that turns this into revolutionary threading, which is an air threader on our needles, which if you come down here, you'll see engaged, where the air will actually pull the thread through the eye of the needle as well. I know. I didn't think they'd ever be able to figure that one out, but they did.
It's like a teeny tiny vacuum.
It is. Just like on the Victory, I'm going to pull my backwards L. Of course, it's a slightly longer L now because we're going quite a bit further.
Yeah.
We've got our 5 inches of throat space right here that I have to make sure I have enough thread for, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
But I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm just going to poke my thread into that opening, and then I'm going to tap it there. Oh, and it did the same thing. How funny. It likes to play with that other little tube. But I can see that it's come out there, so I'm just going to grab it.
There you go.
And there's my lower looper thread. Easy peasy, one little click, and I'm done. So these machines then take away the struggles of serging. One of the other ways they're going to do that, a few of the things that are Baby Lock patents, is going to be automatic thread delivery. On most sergers, oh, gotta tell it I'm serging again.
Those safety devices.
Devices. Automatic thread delivery. So on most sergers, what you're going to have is, as the fabric and the feed dogs pull the thread away, that's how it decides how much thread to send.
Got it.
On our machines, It's actually a more intelligent, it's sending thread rather than thread being pulled away by the stitch. So it will accommodate different thicknesses, different weights, different stitch lengths much more intelligently than what we're used to on kind of lower model sergers.
Got it.
With that, and of course our great lighting, the fact that we've got our beautiful wave stitch on here, which I can show you my little sample of some wave stitch piping.
Oh yeah, that's too fun.
These sergers really are unbeaten. They are the best available, and I gotta tell you, I love them, because really once you're all threaded up, all you gotta do is lower your presser foot. We've got our presser foot right around here on the front for the lifter.
I love that.
And then just start serging. And that's all there is to it.
And you didn't have to hardly do anything to make that work.
Nope. Oh, I did leave a little tail that it caught, but you know what? No worries. No worries.
It's a little treat for later.
All right. So with all that being said, of course, we want to remind you guys we are still celebrating our 40-year anniversary.
It's wild.
Older than me and Ashley, but that's okay. So please come in, bring your catalog if you've gotten it in the mail. If you didn't get a catalog in the mail, we have them here for you. We're happy to give you one. It does have coupons on the back that you can use. I believe these are going all the way through the end of this month. Is that right?
They are, yeah. Yep.
So come in and celebrate the fact that Be Sewing is turning 40 with us this month. And then what I'm going to have you do, Ashley, is because it's less shaky, I'm going to have you come around here and I'll start putting some of the other exciting things that are going on at Be Sewing this month and in the coming months, so that you guys are aware.
Beautiful.
So Emerald Club is starting this week at some of our stores, and then it'll be throughout the month at some of our other stores. Please join us for Emerald Club. This is the Oklahoma City schedule. We're coming up here on April 3rd, but I believe Fayetteville's is actually today. So if it's not too late, hop over for their evening club. I'm sure they'll have a ton of fun with Jory.
Yes.
And that actually is a part of Emerald membership. The nice thing about our new Emerald membership is that this is now, instead of being part of a calendar year, it's simply a 12-month membership. And you can choose if you want to do Emerald membership for $99 a year or Emerald Plus membership for $149 a year, which adds all kinds of other good discounts, like 30% off of your event fees. That pays for itself right away. And
so one event and it's paid for.
Yeah, so not only do you get to come to Emerald Club as a part of this, but you get all these amazing benefits regardless of which level you choose, and it's for 12 months. So it's never too late to join Emerald Club and start coming, or Emerald membership and start coming to Emerald Club. We do have Artful Embroidery still coming up in Charlotte, North Carolina, April 25th and 26th. That's the home of Stephen Wilson. You guys are going to be making this beautiful embroidered freestanding heart that's going to come in this beautiful clear case for display in your home. It's a ton of fun. I loved seeing all the ones from the last time we did Artful Embroidery. So if you have not signed up for this yet, please look into this. It's a wonderful, incredible, I mean, truly artful event. It is embroidery in a way that you've never done it before. If instead you're more of a quilter, you should come to our Introduction to Ruler Work with Ann Moore. Now, I know Oklahoma City is already fully booked, but there are still some spots available in our other 3 locations that are hosting this event. Humble, Texas on April 28th, Tulsa on May 1st, and Fayetteville on May 2nd. And we would love to have you learn with one of the masters of ruler work how to use those amazing but a little bit intimidating rulers and see that they're really not actually that hard once you have the right person show you how to use them.
I'm super excited for that one.
We'll be making kind of like a placemat sampler.
That'll be nice.
And it's going to be a ton of fun. It's a one-day event, but you do make a project in it. So that's really a lot of fun. We also have coming up at the end of May, OESD Stitch Trip. This one is actually going to be at OESD's headquarters, which are in Oklahoma City, and you'll receive the kit for 5 projects that you will work on in the event, and it's all these different travel themed projects. So we have this pashmina scarf if you're traveling to cooler climes. We have a little wish you were here kind of postcard, and it actually is a postcard on both sides.
Oh, that's cute.
I'm pretty sure you could pop that in the mail if you wanted.
Oh,
we've got a little travel pouch, a little boarding or suitcase label kind of thing there, a hat, and then you're actually going to independently make this amazing little applique to go on this bag. So this will be a ton of fun. It is a 2-day event at OESD. Don't miss it. If you have littles in your life that you want to learn to sew, we do have our kids camp coming up this summer. We have sessions this year in June and in July. So go on to besewin.com to check the full dates and see if any of these sessions would work for you. It's either a morning session for 5 days in a row or an afternoon session for 5 days in a row. They'll make 3 projects. They will take home a machine as part of the camp fee. They'll take home a notions kit. They'll get all the fabric that they need and the instructions. It's a ton of fun. I'm always amazed at how much the kids learn in this class. So if you know of any littles in your life between ages 9 and 16 that want to learn to sew, or that you want them to learn to sew,
right?
This is the perfect opportunity for that. We have a ton of fun. And last but not least, for the things that I'll talk about today, is we actually have Barbara Harper coming back with AccuQuilt. Yay. I know, in June. So we're looking a little further out into the year right now. But she's going to be traveling to a lot of our locations to teach all about AccuQuilt in general, what it is in case you're new to it, but also a deep dive on how to use the cubes, which are mix and match dies that can make, even just one cube can make 72 different block patterns on its own. And so she is going to teach us all about these. This is a lecture style class. It's going to be a ton of fun. And if you notice, and this is true of all our events, we have the event fee. And then we have the Emerald Plus member version of the fee. So if you're a part of Emerald Plus membership, or you decide to be a part of it, keep on the lookout in your email for the codes that you'll get to use on our website to get that amazing discount on these events. So we have got a lot going on this month for National Serging Month and in the months to come. As a matter of fact, one I forgot, we don't have a flyer, is Sip and Serge, which is this Saturday at lots of locations. This is actually a nationally, I want to say televised, but live streamed Serger event put on by Baby Lock that they're letting us host in our stores. This one is free to come to. It's going to be a ton of fun. It's from noon to 3. So go online to besewin.com to sign up for that if you want to learn more about serging, or if you want to come into any of our stores anytime and learn about serging from any one of us, we'd be happy to show you. It's going to be a lot of fun. Now, it wouldn't be a real New It Too if we didn't give you guys something for free. Am I right?
Oh, yeah.
Now, I always like to make sure your quilting rooms and your sewing rooms and your embroidery rooms are well stocked.
Yes.
So this week, we are going to give away one of these amazing Madeira Arrow Lock boxes. What you see here is you've got, how many is that? 12 spools of thread, cones really of thread that can go on your serger. But even if you don't have a serger and you're the lucky winner of this, these can also be used on your sewing machine for sewing thread as well. Okay. And these will just get you going with all your different overlock projects. Perfect. So this is a $75 value, and the way that you win this is you either like share, or comment on this video by Thursday at 5 to be entered to win this amazing box of thread. Now, if you don't win and you go, but I still want to save some money, what we're going to do this week is we're going to put all Serger thread on sale for 25% off. Perfect. And we're going to even throw in all Serger trolleys on sale for 20% off. Okay. So if you already have a Serger and you're like, you know, I need to be able to travel with that more, maybe I need to store it in my home for a little while, we have amazing trolleys here that you can do that in, and we're going to put those at 20% off. So like, share, or comment to win your thread, or come on in and mention the New It Too discount. That'll be good until next week's New It Too to get 25% off any Serger thread, 20% off any Serger trolleys. Perfect. So come on in to any of our locations or visit us at besewin.com. And as always, we look forward to seeing you at next week's New It Too and in any of our locations. Talk to you again soon. Bye.
Bye.